Honestly, so like the biggest thing, like we don't really have, like we have some like set questions and stuff, but it's like we just want to get to know you, like get to know
Awesome.
pretty much like what you want to do, pretty much like where you come from as well.
Yeah, of course.
We just like to chat a bit of shit too, like obviously. Just...
Man, to be honest with you, I listen to podcasts all the time.
You do?
Podcasts are my favourite thing. So
yeah,
when
exactly.
You saying I want to be on a podcast, I go, what? I can hear my own voice.
It's so weird, man, because like I did. Do you know Tom Curry?
Yeah, I actually was just listening to that podcast. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. No, I love it. It's raw. It's good. It's
Yeah.
I mean, it's just easy listening.
It is, eh?
I'm always got my headphones in, listen to some podcasts, whether it's about, I listen to a lot of NRL podcasts.
Oh, yeah, who? So yeah. I was going to say you're a St. George man.
I'm a diehard Dragon. They
are. Stayed with it this year, mate.
Oh, man, it's shocking here. I mean, I could sit here and talk about that for an hour.
Mate, honestly, so I'm a Roosters fan.
Man,
so.
You're cruising, cruise control, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, my Dragons are in the world of hurt.
They have been for the last like 5 or 6 years.
I think our whole coaching staff needs a bit of a facelift. I'm sick of seeing the previous players having jobs at that club. Our assistant coaches, our head coach.
It's funny, isn't it, mate? Well, like even like Craig Fitzgibbon and stuff, they're still at the Roosters and stuff. But
I mean, so many options out there. Kevin Walters was my kind of dream coach. That'd be good at this time, but
yeah.
Anyway,
what can you do?
I'm just going to sit here and watch us play the Titans tonight, and again, I mean, absolutely nothing. An absolute shocker.
I hope they both get pumped.
Man, I hope we. The first time I've ever said this as a Dragons fan, I hope we lose because I need them to realise something needs to change.
It's like when you're getting beaten by the Titans, something needs to change.
Man, something needs to change. The Tigers destroyed us last week.
Mate, is it? Oh dear, the Tigers are they're just the pits.
Oh, don't even go there. I can't. This is making me depressed. This is making me depressed. Rugby league. Oh God, I'm such a diehard as well.
You're a diehard rugby league.
Absolutely die. I've been a diehard since I was 5-6 years old.
Because you grew up in Sydney, or?
Grew up in Sydney. Yeah, I grew up in River Beach.
The Bra Boys.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I grew up in River Beach, and then because I grew up with my grandma there, and then my house was in Kingsford, so I was going between back and forward. My parents worked majority of the days, so my grandma and my grandpa kind of, they picked me up from school, fed me, all the usual stuff. But yeah, I grew up in the East my whole life.
Yeah, cool. Fuck yeah. Sydney boy.
I know, yeah, I haven't really gone anywhere else. I just, like, too much of a diva. I like the beaches here. I don't really want to go anywhere else. I don't mind the Gold Coast to Melbourne.
Yeah.
But Sydney's I love Sydney.
Yeah, man. Oh, I don't know. Hey, I'm not the biggest fan of Sydney.
Aren't you? Where are you from?
I'm actually originally from Canberra.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I've just moved up to Brisbane to take the job with
beautiful.
Muscle Nerds. But
Yep.
Yeah. So everyone loves.
It's a bit hectic here in Sydney. I mean, there's traffic everywhere. There's a bit.
I just can't deal with it. Like, it's just way too much in your face. But like, people love it though. I
mean, yeah, the adrenaline's up. I feel my cortisol's always high. I'm always anxious in Sydney. Can't really get away. I feel like every time I go up to the Gold Coast, I'm like in cruise control. I'm relaxed. Is this how people live?
I mean, in Queensland, they're a rare breed. I'll tell you that. They're a little bit more relaxed, and like they'll have a chat to you.
Man, everyone stresses in Sydney about nothing. Everyone. We've got our little coffee shop here as well. People come up and
they're always like in a fucking rush to get coffee.
In a rage permanently. They're always in a rage. My coffee, I want an extra shot of this and an extra too much of that. I'm like, man, shut up.
Yeah. All right. We'll go into that. What's your coffee order?
So my coffee order, I'm as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Everything is lean. So I go, and I'm Greek. So
I was going to ask background. So is it Xydis? Is it
Xydis?
Xydis.
Yeah, it's like
Xydis. Okay.
It's like you say the X, like Xydis. Yeah.
Xydis.
Drop the Y, say it as an I. Xydis.
Xydis.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
Xydis, and my fiance is Maria Tzavelis, Tzav.
Tzav.
So
both Greek though.
Both Greek. Yeah,
okay.
Both Greek. I'm Greek Cypriot. So
Cypriot.
So from Cyprus. My mum's side's from Cyprus, and my dad's side's from Greece. Yeah.
Very cool. Have you ever actually been to Cyprus?
I've never been to Cyprus. I've been to Greece. We're actually getting married next year in Greece.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we're going to go back to the motherland.
The motherland. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you taking the whole family back there, or?
Yeah, we'll see how many people can make it, but we've decided that we just go overseas, have our wedding over there, celebrate.
Kind of like a elope over there.
Yeah, I think we need to get away, getting getting this place.
How are you going to go with leaving the place?
That's the hardest thing, you know. I love this place. I think we're just getting all our systems in check now to make sure that we can go.
Who are you leaving the place to?
At the moment now, we have got to find someone. Yeah, we've got to find someone. We've got a few options. We've got a few trusted staff here that that we can. Essentially, we want to make the business kind of self-managing. That's the goal, I think, of anyone. If the business can almost run itself, and you can kind of just
take a step back,
wean yourself out of the day-to-day. You know, at the moment we're right in it now. Just right in it. But back to the original question.
Yeah,
coffee.
Yeah.
I'm Greek and I'm a bodybuilder, so
straight black,
iced long black. Yeah.
Oh mate,
everything's iced frappe. That's
love
what
it, love it.
Frappe, and I've got my signature Greek frappes here at our cafe. So
mate, I'm actually gonna have to come back for one.
We've got the signature coffees. We do caramel, hazelnut, vanilla.
Fuck yeah.
Bit of milk, double shot, whisked up, but I just have mine just straight.
Straight? How many shots?
I go a double in the morning and a double before training.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then I'll probably throw a pre-workout in there somewhere.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
All caffeinated, all the cortisol.
Just a disaster. Just a disaster.
What time do you usually train?
So for the last 10 years of my life, I would train at about 9 p.m. every night.
9 p.m?
Every night, yeah, and sometimes even later.
Holy fuck.
I'm a night owl. I like to train late at night. That's been since I was young, still about 15.
Really?
Very late at night. Yeah, I essentially like to separate the day in my training. I love training so much, so I would go to work, go to uni, do what I had to do during the day.
And then it's just your time at night.
Well, then it's just purely my time. I know that I can train without having to worry about anything else. I can go to sleep straight after I eat and sleep. Like, that was my thing. I train as hard as I can, and then go straight to bed. Whereas if I train in the morning, I would have the whole day to worry about. My head's everywhere else except the gym.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
But I've had to really be careful with that now because I do run a business now, and I'm here all the time, and training late at night is harder now for me. So I train 3 days a week. A lot of my compound lifts, I train them during the day.
Okay.
And the smaller muscle groups, I'll save them for nighttime still. Because I do like training at night sometimes too.
Yeah, okay. Man, I've always struggled with training at night. I always just get so fucking jacked up.
Yeah, people like it or they don't. I think, I used to train when I was at school. Like, that's when I started training. I was, in year 9, year 10.
Yep.
And then I would, I'd go home, do whatever work I had to do, eat some food, and then, after that, go to the gym about 8:39.
Yeah, cool. Mate, you guys, I guess it's definitely like a European thing that you guys are just night owls.
Just night owls. Me, I'm up all the time. I've got, I'm barbecuing. Sometimes on my Instagram stories, people go, what the hell's wrong with you? You're an idiot. Like, I've got charcoals going I start the charcoals at 11:45.
PM?
I'm there. 11:45. At my gym right now, I've got 2 barbecues. I've got a gas barbecue.
I just witnessed it. It's very cool.
Yeah, I cook.
Is that a Weber, is it?
That's a Weber gas. In my car, I've got a Smoky Joe Weber in the car. That's,
which one? Wait, so obviously, like, it's actually a full smoker.
Yeah, so it's charcoal barbecue, so I like get the true flavours on that. So that's tasted in my car because that's portable. I take that to my fiance's house. I take that to my house. I'm always.
So you guys don't live together yet?
No. Traditional Greeks. We work together. We obviously we spend a lot of time with each other, stay over time to time. But we're looking to. All our money is tied up in our workplace currently. So the goal is next year to
consolidate.
That's it. I sound like an old washed up Greek person now.
Nah, fuck no. Yeah. It's like it's cool because like it's just very, very, I don't know. Is that Orthodox? Is it? Or?
Yeah, Greek Orthodox. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Spend a lot. Do you go to church a lot?
I just go for the Greek Easter's a big thing. Yeah, it's more of a cultural thing. It's not really like a die-hard religion thing.
Okay.
Just I grew up in a Greek house, and it's all very cultural, and everyone likes to get around each other at around the Easter time, and a lot of food, a lot of cooking, a lot of family time. So
that's awesome. What's your favorite thing to eat? I guess.
Oh, to eat, I'm very simple. I just love beef.
You do?
Beef, yeah. And Greeks are terrible at cooking beef.
Are they?
They suck. They suck. They're good.
Why?
They're just good at cooking lamb. Why cook lamb? Because they can overcook it. They like just cook. Greeks don't like their meat bloody and rare and medium. They just like.
Oh, really?
You don't see a lot of Greeks cook beef. It's all lamb. Lamb souvlaki, lamb souvla.
Okay, that's making a lot of sense.
Lamb, chicken, and pork. So
you guys making mean chicken, like especially
chicken, pork, lamb. That's very Greek, but I like my beef. I like my steak cooked quite rare. So
Okay.
Greeks will look at you and be like, "What are you doing?
what the fuck are you doing?
What are you putting in your body?" But I like.
it's the same thing, bro.
Ribeye, just a big 500 gram ribeye on the bone. That's it. That's my go-to.
That's your go-to.
That's my go-to.
Fuck yeah.
As a bodybuilder, that's it. As much protein as possible.
I mean, what is the protein content in that, baby?
Probably has to be at least 100 grams. Somewhere in there.
Love it.
Just fry the kidneys.
Yeah. If you could have, how many of those would you have a day if you actually could have them?
I'll be honest with you. Because what have I done? I've done 3 in a day, and I was doing that as a part of my diet when I was young. I was an idiot. I was trying to put on weight as a kid.
3 a day?
I couldn't afford ribeye. So
I was going to say, what are you spending on meat?
T-bone. I was doing T-bone steaks. I was doing 2 T-bones in the morning. I was doing a couple of T-bones for lunch, and stupidly another one for dinner. And I'd have eggs with them.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, I don't know. When you're just young and
you're all about the proteins,
you
which
just
is there.
Don't care about anything. You just think, just the more I eat, the better it is. As you get older, you realise you got to take your micronutrients and everything into account. But that was my diet for a bit, and it wasn't very healthy. I must say, it wasn't very healthy. But
you learn.
Do love my red meat.
You grow up a little bit, eh?
Oh god. Yeah.
And you'd have like 7 protein shakes like straight after the gym as well.
Yeah, as a kid, you get your mass shake.
The
industrial size scoop. That thing was like a shovel.
Yeah.
I come in with this bucket of, it was like 14 kilos of protein, and it said 6 serves in it. And I go, what? The shovel, the scoop is like a kilo.
Yeah.
And my mum would be shaking her head. My dad shaking his head. What are you doing to yourself? Yeah, that was my life. But now I'm a bit smarter. Now I generally like to eat my meals. I like to eat my protein.
And actually chew it as well.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct.
How old are you?
I'm 27. Just turned last week.
Okay, I was going to say, I thought you were going to be a little bit older, but
27 years old. So a lot of people say, "Oh, wow, you've done quite a bit for 27 years old." But I mean, people don't realise that when you're in this industry, I had this vision from when I was about 13, 14 years old. So I've been actively working on that since I was quite young. So for me, at 27 years old, it's a good age for me now to be where I want to be with my career. And I'm still learning every day. I'm sitting in my office now. You can see all the books.
I was just going to say, I was going to probably take a photo of this one. Yeah, this one looks pretty mad. Anatomy and physiology.
Yeah, I spend a lot of my time just studying, researching.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last year, getting this place together, I haven't been able to do that as much.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably taken a real backseat.
And it's upset me, and it's upset me because I love learning more than anything. So I'm really trying to get our business here pushing forward, so I can have that bit of extra time to spend researching. I do love, there's a few groups I'm part of on Facebook that I like. There's one, Physio Network.
Okay.
A lot of people are subscribing to that now. That's a great page with content. Up-to-date evidence-based research. So I like keeping an eye on that.
Cool.
Also, just forums and stuff like that. I just like being in the loop with all the current.
Mate, you got to be. Otherwise, if you're not in. Yeah, exactly right.
You fall behind. If you take 3-4 months out of this industry and then come back into it, everything's changed.
Yeah.
Everything's changed.
And what industry are you talking about? I guess both.
Just the
like
health,
fitness and health, or
health and fitness.
Yeah.
It's just, I think these days now it's almost fused. There's so much.
Yeah. A lot of crossover.
So much crossover. I mean, our personal trainers are all trying to separate themselves. There's so many trainers out there, and a lot of them are continuing their education. There's more courses available. They're going back and doing online education, access to resources as well. Everyone's further in their knowledge because you have to find your niche. You have to build your own brand. You have to, it's a career now. I've always said you got to find a career, not a job. So a lot of these trainers now are really, they're trying to build their brand, their business, which is awesome. It's inspiring to see for me.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people out there, just PTs that are coming just to learn. A lot of PTs have paid me for sessions and they just want to come and learn, pick my brain.
Yeah,
which is awesome. I love that.
That's the way to go, isn't it, mate? You just got to find someone that fucking knows something.
That's it. And I had a lot of idols.
Yeah, who are your biggest?
I have. when I was young. Obviously, when I was really young, I looked up to a lot of the big bodybuilders. That was my favourite.
Mm-hmm. Who was your favourite?
Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman was the man, but there was another few body like Kevin Laverne, Sean Ray, a guy called Paul DeMayo. I used to look up to him, Quadzilla.
Mm-hmm. You're not a Tom Platz fan? He's got...
I love Tom. Look, I love the 70s. To me, the golden era was the 70s of bodybuilding. But the 90s, to me, was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was like Dorian Yates, Flex Wheeler.
Yeah.
That was a whole other world of conditioning and size. That was just Chris Cormier and Lee Priest and all these guys coming through. Like I still go back and before I train, I watch some of the videos just because it's just like, how the hell can you look like this? You know?
Pretty fucking crazy. Did you see Ronnie's? You obviously saw Ronnie's. His
the latest one. Yeah, I did. And it upsets me when I see people. Look what he did to his body. Look at this. Look at that. And first and foremost, I say he was the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
Ronnie Coleman was the strongest bodybuilder at the time, and he would, back then, we were talking late 90s, early 2000s, it was almost about just going in the gym, doing as much as you can for as many reps as you can.
Yeah.
And just smashing yourself, and there wasn't as much emphasis on recovery, and as much emphasis on programming, and as much emphasis on, the correct exercises for certain goals, but it was just almost get the most amount of weight on your back and train.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
But sports science has evolved significantly since then.
Definitely.
Also, I've looked up to in the industry, Dr. Andrew Locke.
Oh yeah. So is he a doctor in physiotherapy? Is that what it is? Or? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he's PhD.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, I thought I might think he was a doctor, but yeah. He's someone that I've always looked up to because when I was at uni, I knew the area that I wanted to get into, but I almost hadn't seen anyone do it at that time. I was like, I want to work with strength athletes and rehabilitating through movement, and working specifically with bodybuilders, powerlifters, weightlifters, and there wasn't too many people at that time. This was before Instagram really, and Dr. Locke I saw he was working with a bodybuilder that I followed called Luke Shembry.
Okay.
And I saw that, and then from there I kind of just followed all this stuff, and it was really interesting.
This would have been a little while ago then as well. Hey, because he's taken off quite a lot recently.
Yes, this was when he just kind of started on the social media, on Facebook. There was a few things coming through on Facebook, and I remember I also looked up to Sebastian Oreb as well, the Australian strength coach, and I was privileged enough to work with him for 3 years.
Cool.
Sydney. Yeah, so I got to essentially work with Dr. Locke and Seb on these seminars that they were doing, and I just got to feed off all the information, see some really cool athletes come through that gym, It's
a pretty amazing environment to be in, mate.
And just indirectly just fed on it.
That's the best part though, hey. But it's like extraordinary people doing like extraordinary things.
Yeah, it just became the norm. Some of the people that were coming through that gym, some of the lifts, to me, it was an everyday thing to see someone squat 300 kilos.
Yeah.
That was just like a Tuesday morning at that gym, and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to my other gym at night time.
What other gym were you working at?
I was not working. I was training. I was training at my gym, East Gardens, which is a great gym as well. Great bodybuilding gym, awesome gym. But you'd go from working alongside people that were deadlifting and squatting some ungodly numbers, and you'd go back to reality, and you'd be like, oh, this is different.
Yeah,
this is different. People are doing hammer strength exercises here. And, Marty Tapau was training at base gym as well.
He's fucking strong, right? He's like 320 deadlift.
I think 310, 320 deadlift, and with ease as well. And just being in that environment, just seeing all the people come through, and just learning. Like, I never spent a lot of time, as an amateur bodybuilder. I just always wanted to look good, and I always thought that. Leg extensions were the key to big legs, you know what I mean?
Mate, you got a fucking pair of whacking quads on you.
Oh, please.
Mate, it's so funny, right? Like, every guy is always going to compliment you, and then every chick's like, fuck, that's a bit weird. Why you got such big legs? Like,
luckily, Maria likes it.
Yeah.
Fiance, luckily, thank God. But it's working alongside those people in North Sydney, I can't stress enough. It was just crazy, and I was just so lucky to be a part of that.
And, you said. Sorry, keep going.
There was a guy, you probably see Alex Simon as well. You see Godly Strong on Instagram.
I don't think many people haven't seen him, to be completely honest.
He's a close friend of mine. I got to see him achieve some insane numbers.
What was his best deadlift?
So in training,
Yeah.
at the gym was a 400 deadlift, but in competition it was a 382.5. But I was actually treating him backstage at Big Dogs 2017. Yeah. So
okay,
I was
so
looking after him.
give us a look into that then. What were you sort of treating him? Like,
Man,
what were you doing?
at that time, for him it was just hands-on.
Yeah.
In between lifts, making sure that he was 180 kilos.
He was yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like, I wanted to ask you, like, who's your biggest person you've ever treated?
Yeah, Alex. Alex 180. I think it was more, honestly. He would tell you it was more on the day. He was the biggest human I've ever seen.
What do you fucking do with someone that big? I've
Look,
always wanted to know.
At that time, on comp day, the goal on comp day is you got to go out there and you got to lift those weights.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my job was to facilitate that as best I could. So, Alex, obviously, we know when you're low bar squatting over 400 kilos, he did 435 in comp.
Yeah.
Your arms are going to be pretty sore.
Yeah.
Just holding that weight, in the low bar position. People suffer from, they get that brachialis pain, just
Penis elbow.
Penis elbow, yeah, correct. And he was in a world of hurt.
Yeah, was he?
So we had a whole crew there. Seb was there wrapping the knees. I was there hands on. There was a big group of the base gym crew there. We're all just hands on with him as much as we could. So I was just sweating over. His arms were like 30 inches.
That's a fucking big arm.
I know, it was just a monster. So yeah, I had every tool. I had a couple of those hand rollers.
Yeah.
Just going through his back, just using my hands, my elbows, my wrists, everything. Just trying to get in between his lifts while he was warming up. Remember, if you're going to open your squat with a 405 kilo, you got to think, what's your last warm up?
Yeah.
These warm-ups are stupid. They're massive numbers.
It's like 380. Yeah.
So think about, like, as he's warming up, you got to manage that as well. And plus, from going from a squat to a bench press.
Yeah,
his arms were sore, his lower back was sore. And he would have gone the 400 on the deadlift, but he tweaked his hamstring on that. And I said, don't go for it. No, I think he was done at that point. I did a bit of an assessment. It was a light strain on his hamstring. I said, just you've lifted so well today. Don't
fuck it.
Don't try the 400 and then something bad go wrong. So
how did Bass take that? So he obviously respected, like, your decision.
No, it was a group decision. No, it wasn't. So Alex came backstage and he said he basically said to me, he goes, what can I do? Because I feel my hamstring. He tweaked and I assessed it and I said, well, it's a strain here.
Yeah.
And he, we did a few little assessments and he basically said it's pretty sore.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said to Bass and him, I said, yeah, it's probably not worth it. And then, we all just said, that's it, just call it there.
Yeah.
It's not worth going out there sore like that and then tearing a hamstring off the bone.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
He just got married at the time as well, so I think.
Okay. So he's a little bit more conscious.
I think he was going to go away as well after that trip. So I said, if you're going to go away, it's good to go.
You want to actually walk around.
It's good to go away with 2 hamstrings and not 1.
It's interesting, like that's like really, really cool to hear though, because it's like you always wonder like what actually, like you always think that big guys get away with stuff like that, but it's like it's definitely not the case.
It's not the case, and I've seen a lot of injuries, and I've always said you're not getting stronger and building muscle when you're injured.
Yeah.
So my job as a physio as well is to keep people in the gym.
Yeah.
So when people are training, my job is also, not in Alex's case because he had Bass doing a lot of his programming, but in majority of my other athletes' cases, I am really, really hands-on with what weights they should be doing every week.
Okay.
And what numbers they should be hitting and the RPEs and everything. I want to make sure that athlete continues to train.
Yeah, cool.
If we're injured, nothing's progressing.
Yeah. That's mad. I was gonna say then. Okay, so like give us a little bit of a run through, like what someone comes into your gym, especially if they're more like you obviously said that you niched down into, is it just bodybuilders now or powerlifters?
Not really. No. Look, I still deal with a lot of the general population. I've got a lot of clients that have been working with me for a long time now. So this is generally what I do. Say someone comes in and they want to come and see me. My first session is very, very relaxed.
Yep.
I have a very, very relaxed first session. We just chat.
Yeah.
We sit down in my office here and I want to know everything.
Yeah.
I want to know what they do for work. I want to know their training split. I want to know their lifestyle. If they've got kids. Certain factors they're going to tell me what we can achieve with this client. If someone comes to me and they say they work 12 hours a day, they've got 3 kids, they try and train, they can barely get to the gym. I now know that their rehab programs have to be something more specific to home as opposed to something in a gym. We have to sit down and actually come to terms with a goal. We need to be on the same page. I'm performance based. I want all my clients achieving something. It's a premium cost to come and see someone weekly, so you want to make sure that we've got a goal.
Yeah.
So the first session is essentially, most of the times I don't even touch my clients in the first session. I don't even do minor assessments. But I usually go away from that first session and I do a lot of work and I sit down and come up with a plan and a program.
Okay, cool.
And I then, depending on the goals of the clients, a majority of the goals, people come to me and say, hey, I deadlift 200 kgs. I want to deadlift 230, but I currently got back pain. It's a typical kind of presentation. Someone with back pain coming who's a powerlifter that wants to deadlift heavier.
Yeah. And
then I have to program from there. And I'll assess their deadlift and see what the imbalances are, what the weaknesses are, and then kind of just take it from there.
Mad. That's pretty cool. Sounds pretty comprehensive.
It is, yeah. I take a lot of pride in my clients.
Awesome.
I do take a lot of pride with how my clients move and how they feel, and a lot of them, once I've discharged them, and this is what people don't understand with physiotherapy or any therapy, I try and make my clients self-managing.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. That's 100%.
I don't want them to come and see me forever. I don't, because if they come and see me forever, I'm doing a shit job. So my goal, and that's why I book fortnightly with my clients. Some people depends on the client, but majority of my clients, fortnightly is good for me because it gives them enough time to put the rehab
into play.
And what happens most of the time is clients say, oh, I couldn't do my exercises, or I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do that. And in the space of a week, you haven't given them a lot of time to kind of get their rhythm with their training or their exercises. So I always give them 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
2 weeks to get their rhythm. Usually the first few days they find it hard to fit in, what I've prescribed.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, I do take a lot of pride in that, and I have to just gel with my clients. To be honest, you got to develop that friendship. You got to develop the trust.
That's the biggest thing, right? In anything, I think is
trust. That's it. I'll sit down in that first session, and we just want to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And look, if we don't click, don't click. It's not a personal attack. Some clients come to me as their last resort.
Yeah.
They come to me saying, I've seen 20 clinicians. I've got 58 scans. I've got this, and they come with that kind of already heightened. They're kind of anxious. They're like, someone referred me to you. I don't even know if you can fix me. It's all automatically they've come and they're just like
this mindset about it, right?
That's it. How are you going to fix me without massaging me? How are you going to fix me without this?
Like, how has that massage or whatever previously worked? And they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. That's it. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page with all my clients. That we want to make sure that if their goal is to be pain free, these are the steps that we have to take to be pain free.
Yeah.
These are the steps we're going to have to implement to your day to day. I'll look at lifestyle factors, posture. I'll look at what they do. And most of the times, it's funny what you pick up if you dig deep enough into someone's life. Someone could come to you and you could you could find the problem just by talking to them.
Yeah.
You could sit here and they can tell you they've got this pain, that pain, and they sit their office desk for 10 hours and then they demonstrate to you how they pick the keys up when they drop them off the floor and just little things like that. And you can almost just see how their bodies come to the way it is.
It's funny, eh? It's
you
very
can just
funny.
see it. And then from there we come up with a plan. So I've got a team of practitioners here. I've got another few physios here. I've got a massage therapist. I've got strength trainers here. So we kind of just handle all the clients as a team.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate.
So we refer amongst each other, yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Do you obviously yourself do a lot of strength training as well? Do you have your certs or anything in that, like strength and conditioning?
No, I don't actually. I don't have my certs in that. I just did my internship alongside Sebastian. And I just do a lot of my own strength training in myself. I just do my own coaching, and I find that just implementing a plan and program on yourself as a therapist is the most important thing. You have to know what you're prescribing your clients.
Yes.
You have to know, when
love it, mate. I love it, yeah.
You got to do it, I recently deadlifted 300 kilos and you put it on my Instagram.
I was going to say, how's that bicep
going? It was funny mechanism of injury was the overhand in the bicep. It wasn't the underhand, it was the overhand.
Really? I thought I was going to say the supinated.
It was the overhand on my right hand.
Yeah,
and it tore off the ground. I felt it just go, but
It wasn't brachialis.
It was right in the biceps. Yeah, I did an
right.
MRI. It was a biceps tear. It was a grade 2 tear, and you can probably see there. There's a little sort of dip in the bicep.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
which I don't have there.
Yeah.
But I felt that go off the ground, but I had programmed to lift that 300.
Pulled it anyway.
I had programmed for it, and I knew in my head. I kind of did a diagnosis as I was lifting that weight. I go, okay, well, it's my overhand side, and I'm still holding onto the weight, so it mustn't be detached. So just keep pulling, just keep pulling the weight. The weight was actually the easiest part of that lift. It was more or less the bicep was pretty sore.
Yeah, I was gonna say
pretty sore. That's why I dropped it.
Fucking whopping big bruise.
Yeah. And as you probably saw from my social media, I began rehab on it straight away, and I did not stop training. I was essentially back in full training mode within 3 weeks. So within 3 weeks, but I didn't stop training through that process. I just changed my program around. I just assessed myself and just got it moving. That's the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
Acute management from day one and movement. That's my my trick with everything.
There you go.
Movement is key.
Movement. You hear that, everyone out there? Fucking movement.
Movement is key with everything. I am a big fan of soft tissue work. I love soft tissue work. There is definitely a place for it. I love getting it. When I have soft tissue,
mate, that's the coots, isn't it? When you actually get it done on yourself.
It's incredible, and a good massage therapist or hands-on clinician can also observe. Like I work with someone here that we play off the back of each other. He does a lot of my initial assessments. He sees a lot of mobility restrictions and issues, and we just take to him a lot of clients here. So there is definitely a place for hands-on work in this industry. I love it. But in terms of long-term management, movement and time.
Movement and time.
That's it. That's essentially the formula.
That's it. And time. People don't want to give you time, but that's
movement and time. You have to. You can't just sit there with an injury and just think it's gonna fix itself.
I think that's so important to touch on, right? Is that everyone's always like, oh fuck, I did my back, I stopped doing everything, and now it's gone away.
People don't realise that, doing your back in is such a common injury that I see, and it's not necessarily what you did at the time you hurt your back. It's more or less the
thousands of reps that you did before that.
20 years of shit movement and bad posture and poor lifestyle decisions and incorrect technique and poor programming and
so funny, eh?
And then, but by all means, blame the keys that you dropped that one day, or blame tying your shoelaces and your back just went. That's definitely what killed your back. Yeah, your back can handle a lot, but that's what just
What about my favorite one? Like I pretty much always hear, it's like, I did a really heavy squat session the day before, and then I went to do a deadlift. It was only an empty bar, and then I did it then. It's like, mate,
there's common occurrences in this industry.
Have a think about what actually just happened.
First and foremost, that's as you just said. Your program is the most important thing. Yeah, I keep stressing on that, because if you go to the gym every week and have no clue what you are doing, eventually something's going to give. It just has to. You see people get away with it for so long, and then one day they just go, "Oh, my shoulders hurt." Yeah. Oh, I haven't had this pain in my shoulder before, because your program or the way you've trained that muscle group. You've essentially just overloaded it. You've overloaded it over time. Poor management, poor recovery. The days that you train, you see people go to the gym, they do shoulders, chest, and triceps over 3 days, or they'll do 4 pushing days in a row. They'll break the legs.
It's like every day is fucking International Chest Day.
Yeah, that's it. And then they don't. And then leg day just comes down to leg extensions and leg press. And then back day is a machine chest supported hammer strength row, and a really shitty rack pull. And then it's my job to come in and somehow not look like the bad guy and say, how about we look at this as more of a well-rounded program?
And they're like, what?
And they're like, what do you mean? I have to do chest on a Monday.
And tries on the next day.
Saying, I'm not stopping you from doing chest on a Monday, but let's have a look at how you're training chest. Let's maybe look at, instead of just isolating chest, let's do, a push-pull. Yeah. And then, that's what I like to look at. The program is the most important thing. The first thing I ask my clients is, tell me your training routine. I want to know your training routine. I want to know exactly what you do. And the majority of them can't actually
tell you what it is.
Can't tell me.
because they're like, oh,
sometimes I do this.
I'll go and do, my favourite one is that I'll do that machine and then this one over here. And you're like, what?
And you're like, what? What are we talking about?
What is that?
Who taught you that?
Yeah.
And the sad thing is when someone has taught them that, when they paid a trainer and the trainer's taught them that, that's when I get upset. I go, this guy's a fitness professional.
Yeah.
It's just someone that,
like no program and no structure or anything.
I always say a program is always inclusive. In my initial consultation, I always do a program.
Okay.
It sets the plan up.
Yeah. It
In the
sets
program,
the goal, yeah.
It may change. It changes as you go. But I'm saying, like, you just got to have something to refer back to.
Okay.
Something that's there on paper that there is a starting point and an end point and there's a goal. We have small goals along the way, but, I always someone will come to me with a back injury and say they do train regularly. I'll say, let's make our goal. Let's be able to deadlift, 1.5 times your body weight.
Yeah.
Free.
Okay.
That's a little goal. That's a small goal.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get there, we celebrate that.
Mm-hmm.
We celebrate that. We consolidate it.
Yeah. We
make sure that we know that now that we're pain-free doing that, we've set a good foundation. We've set a good platform. It's not about deadlifting 300-400 kgs in the first month. It's about being pain-free. It's about doing the exercises you like to do. It's about having a well-rounded program, and it's about not having pain when you're waking up in the morning.
I think, that's
it.
That's it, man. Like, I don't know how often I say this, but it's like people lose the ability to know like what feels good and what's actually, what they're actually feeling on a daily basis.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's correct. It's people also. Some people as well. Chronic. I've got a lot of chronic pain patients. People that have had injuries, disc injuries and whatnot for years and years and years, and you've got to realize their body has adapted to that injury.
Path of least resistance, right?
That's it. So it's adapted to having that pain, and now it's your job to go in there and essentially there's always going to be that resistance to change when you start implementing different things into their program and their lifestyle, and their body's always going to kind of fight that at the start, but you just have to make it very clear to them that long term this is the best thing for helping your injury.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. What was that? Fucking hell. That went quickly. I mean, we've got heaps to cover. I want to ask you a couple of questions. So what is the biggest thing you've sort of taken out of like the powerlifting
technique? Technique. Everything is technique. I cannot stress that enough. With everything you do, powerlifters are so pedantic about technique with everything they do. Deadlifting, squatting, benching. They're just the one percenters. The equipment they use, the barbells they use, the belts they wear, the wrist strap, every little thing, all the one percenters. And I've implemented that to my physio clients. Why, if I've got a physiotherapy client who trains, why would I not give him the techniques that the strongest people in the world use?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to be the strongest person in the world, but the strongest person in the world are doing these techniques.
And it's a 1%.
And they're pain-free, and they're doing these exercises, and they're lifting the largest load. So why don't we implement the same foundations with the gen pop, where your feet are positioned in a squat, where your lats should be in a deadlift. There's little things I cue with my gen pop clients, and it's all about technique. That's the biggest thing I take away from powerlifters.
Yeah.
All technique.
Especially, I mean, like going to this seminar with Bass and all that sort of stuff, like it's nothing that I haven't heard before. And I'm kind of just like, every time I come back to it, it's like, it's definitely the highest end people just do the simple shit the best.
1%, and you got to do the simple shit. The best squatters in the world squat. You know what I mean? That's it. You're not going to go, you have to squat correctly to have a good squat. That's it. That's your best tool. You find all these people that say, I'm trying to get stronger with my deadlifts. I'm doing rack pulls. I'm having problems on the lockout. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But really, it's
how much deadlifting are you doing, mate?
Correct. And what's your technique like? People don't realize the difference between mechanical failure and muscular failure. People think they have to get a muscular failure every session. It's not the case. I like to program my clients from mechanical failure. If someone comes to me and says I'm deadlifting 200, and I'm not able to get 210, I say them warm up, and I'm seeing errors, and I'm seeing things happening at 80, 90 kilos.
Yeah, and you're like, bro.
And they're carrying that mistake all the way through, and it's my job to program from where that technique is breaking down and making sure that they're aware of that, and they're giving me feedback. So I'll give them homework to do. They've got to do their homework, and then they've got to send me content, they've got to send me videos, they've got to send me techniques of them lifting.
Yeah.
So I can watch. It's all a part of the plan.
Yeah.
You've got to watch them week to week.
Mate, fucking hell, that's the hardest thing though. Hey, like no one, I guess there's that whole lack of, from therapist table to the gym.
It's hard. it's hard to communicate that to clients as well. You know what I mean? And you're here now. You've seen my facility.
Love it, by the way.
It's a gym. It's a humongous gym. We've got Alico, Hammer Strength, Cybex, Life Fitness, and I've got my little physio room.
That we're sitting here now.
We're sitting here now. Yeah, it's a little clinic room and a big gym. I rehabilitate everyone in the gym.
Yeah,
everyone. You see, my bed's immaculate. No one's sat on it.
Yeah,
it's brand new.
Yeah. So I guess how would you like assess someone? Do you just get them to lift straight away? Are you going to do some like orthopedic testing on them, or
look, it's all different. It's every client is very different. I don't have a cookie cutter approach to clients.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite unorthodox with the way I do treat. Most of the time, I just, as I said, I suss the individual out. We have a chat at the start, depending on the goals of the person. I do quite a few orthopedic tests. Depending what the injury is. If someone comes in and says, I get a bit of a tweak when I deadlift at this weight, or this is hurting me here, obviously I have to see that, and I'll make sure we go and assess that at the gym. If the problem is their deadlift or their squat, I'll watch that. But if they've got just a specific pain and in a certain area, and I'll test that here in this room. I'll do that on the bed. I'll do a few orthopedic tests. And just body weight movements as well. I just want to see how the body's moving. I don't load the body until I get it moving well without a load. That's what people don't realise. I spend 45 minutes just warming up before we even begin to get on a bar.
Yeah.
Or even pick something up off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Same with, I teach that to my clients as well. I tell my clients, I go, you've spent your whole day in one posture at work, doing one simple thing, and then you're going to aggressively go to the gym, and the first thing you do is put one blue plate on that barbell. You haven't even you've been in the gym for 25 seconds, and straight away there's a blue plate on the barbell.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I would love to see people just be able to do that, but they fucking can't.
Some days you can, some days you can't.
Yeah.
Some days you can go in the gym, you don't need as much of a warm up, you don't need to mobilise as much. You can go in, start plating up, and you're good to go. Other days, you got to take a bit more time to do it. Depending how long you've been sitting in your car for, how long you've been sitting in your desk for, depending how your last session was in the gym yesterday. So you carry. Depends where you are in your program. You might be at the back end of a program where every day is heavy. At the start of a program, you undershoot a lot of your numbers in the gym, so things are kind of easy. You just go through the motions. It's technique based, but at the back end of a program, all the 1%ers count.
It's all hairy.
There's a lot of weight being thrown around.
Yes, mate. And with some of the guys that are obviously coming through here, there's being a lot of weight thrown around.
Yeah, there is a sickening amount of weight. I've got to put another order through for more plates in here. Sometimes,
you're joking,
sometimes
mate.
2 or 3 people are in here and some squatting and deadlifting happening, and even benching together. All the plates in the gym are gone.
How many plates have you got? Like, what's the tonnage?
I don't even know. I got one of those. I've got a big powerlifting set from Alico. I've got another weightlifting set with bumper plates from Alico, and then I just got a Rogue set that came in.
Yeah, I saw that. Looks really nice.
We've got some group training area down the back now.
So you do group training here?
Well, we're about to launch that. So we've got one of the classes will be a mobility class.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
The classes will be kind of capped at 8 to 10 people. I like the quality. I want to make sure that everyone's being looked after.
Yeah, 100%.
So we've got mobility and stretching classes.
Are you going to take that, are you?
No, I'll be essentially taking another class called like Physio Fit.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing a class that's more specific for like people who have injuries. It'll be structured in a way where it's like, here's a lower back day. And then
if you got lower back pain.
Lower back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, they're the kind of areas that I like to specialise in.
Okay.
And then, so we'll be running, and I've got another physio here as well who'll be doing some of those classes.
You said, yeah.
Yeah, and there'll be some other strength and conditioning classes as well, more or less just generic gym classes, but still being run by, high-level trainers and other clinicians as well, because we want to make sure that this is what separates our gym from other gyms. We're not just a gym, it's a rehabilitation centre.
Yeah.
Everyone in here, I want them more injury-free. We're about preventing injury here as well. That's a big factor.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can prevent it, teach the movement before anything goes wrong.
That's it, right?
Just because someone doesn't have an injury, doesn't mean they're not moving incorrectly.
Yes.
And you could be on the cusp of an injury.
Yes.
If you're there and you can prevent it.
Yeah.
If someone comes in and they've got a knee injury, and you're looking at all the other exercises they're doing, and there's problems with all those exercises,
then
so duty of care as well. You've got to make sure that you can implement your services and help them with everything, because they'll come back with pain elsewhere. If you look at their bench press, for example, you look at them, you're like, oh man, this guy's shoulders are about to go.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all part of it. You've got to help. It's
Yeah.
a full body approach. Preventing injury is far easier than curing it.
I love that saying. That's probably my favorite quote at the moment. It's like prevention is better than the cure.
Always. That's always. And especially with personal trainers as well. That's what I stress. I train a lot of personal trainers as well.
You do. Obviously,
I do,
they're
yeah.
the ones that are coming to you that are fucked up.
And I love training my PTs because they've got a lot of clients. So it's almost like the scope is far.
Yeah.
I can teach them, and then they can teach
Them.
20 to 30 people. So if you've got
You got a
3 or
big
4
reach.
PTs, you've got a big reach of clients that are essentially following your protocols.
Very cool.
And that's what I've always looked at. And that's the path I eventually want to go down, whereby I can teach people how to essentially look good. So I like the hypertrophy side of things as well as a bodybuilder.
Mate, you've got to. There's an aesthetic look to it.
That's it. You have to. I mean, that's a lot of people still want to. There's that aesthetic part. They want to look good. So I want to. I'm writing programs now that still, muscle building with a strength base. I love strength because it's objective. You can measure it week to week. It's a good gauge for someone's rehab as well, and also something that's well balanced and can prevent injury. So that's how I look at my programs, well-rounded programs, muscle, strength, injury prevention, moving correctly. You can't really go wrong with that.
Very true. Hobbies. Obviously bodybuilding.
Training. I love training.
Anything outside of training?
Hobbies. I'm a simple person. I used to love video games.
Which ones?
I'm an old school man. I collect old school video games.
Like Nintendo and stuff?
N64, PS1. I've got a lot of those old things. I like playing my Game Boy from time to time.
Oh, like Game Boy Color? Or?
I've got all the old Game Boys, but I'm still playing. I got the 3DS as well. I like Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, all that type of shit. Yeah.
Mate, that's the best.
Video games outside, yeah. I spend a lot of time with family as well. Cooking, as I said, I love cooking.
Okay.
Have to love cooking. If you're going to be a bodybuilder, you've got to learn how to cook.
Your fiance would love that too, right?
Yeah, we both love cooking.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we love it. We love cooking. We love, we've got to eat. Well, I've got to eat. As I said, I've got a barbecue here at work. So a day in my life is, I'll have 2 chicken meals a day, a salmon meal, a steak meal, oats, protein. That's it. I love cooking all fresh. It's all cooked fresh here.
What are your macros at the moment?
Oh, at the moment, I'm on about, what am I on about? I think I'm on about 4,000 calories, 4,200, 4,200 calories.
What are you walking around at the moment? 85, 90 at least.
Oh, man, I'm 102. 102 kilos, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 102.
And how tall are you?
5'11".
Fucking hell, mate. Yeah.
Oh, man, compared to some of the people that I treat, I'm tiny.
Yeah, really?
I've got some big bodybuilders, yeah, some big. My old bodybuilding coach that I'm still friends with, Justin Wessels.
Okay.
He
comes to see you, obviously.
Yeah, well, he's an IFBB pro. Now he just recently got his pro card. Yeah, so Justin did my diet when I competed in 2017 and 18. So he's a close friend of mine, and yeah, so he's well, he's a huge human. He's a huge human. A lot of the bodybuilders I treat are, yeah. So I just try and do my best.
Yeah. That's hilarious, mate. I'm very surprised. Like 180 kilos. That's big.
Oh, please. Alex, 180 kgs. Jesus Christ. Yeah. When he was at his biggest, you've never seen anything like that. And he's getting into the UFC now.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Didn't he just bust his bicep as well?
He tore it, yep. So I'm also helping him out with that a bit.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah,
Because
so,
he's also seen as a chiro.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So when he comes and trains here, I make sure that everything's moving well. So he does a lot of his upper body push-pull training here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and just
he kind of just does it rounds, does he?
Yeah. So he comes here and I make sure that everything's moving well with it. Make sure that the strength is good in that bicep, because you got to remember when you're it's different with training. When you're training with weights, you're in a fixed environment.
Mm-hmm.
You've got barbells with handles. You've got a flat floor. You warm up. You've got coaches. But when you're in the fighting game, it's very dynamic. A lot of variables. So you have to make sure that arm can essentially...
It's function, right?
Yeah, it's function. So it's the transition back into pad work for him and obviously wrestling and all that type of stuff. That's the risky stuff for him at this stage, and the stuff that he's just about there now. I think he's got a fight coming up at the end of November as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's he's one scary looking human.
No, but he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Oh, I'm sure he probably is.
He's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Apart from you, mate.
Nah.
I was going to say, so obviously give us a little bit of a look into like what you've done previously, like all your study and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, so I've graduated. See, there's I got that gold plated.
There you go.
Yeah. So I finished up uni in 2015.
Yep.
So I finished at the end of 2015. It should have been 2014, but in the second year, failed the subject, put me back a year, put a lot of things in perspective with...
Which one did you fail?
Cardiorespiratory.
Mate, Tommy just said he failed that one as well.
Tough subject. I mean, I wasn't underprepared for it.
Yeah.
I really wasn't, but I learned a lot of lessons when I was at uni. I learned that you can't rope learn. It's hard to rope learn. Rope learn meaning like you just kind of remember things for an exam.
Oh, right. Yeah, mate, that's fucking rampant in uni.
You know, I mean, with this degree, it's a degree that everything you learn, you have to apply it. You have to apply it. So that a lot of the pathophysiology and stuff, you have to learn how to apply it, and you can't just blabber on.
Bullshit, yeah.
You can't bullshit your way. And in some of those exams, they tear you apart. They tear you apart at uni. And it was the best thing that happened to me because when I eventually went on my prac for cardiorespiratory, after I redid the subject, I realised there was a reason why I failed that subject.
Okay.
And I ended up doing very, very well on that prac.
Okay, awesome.
And it was a very difficult prac, and I was...
What did you do in it? I'm actually keen to...
With cardiorespiratory, you're looking at primarily an ICU, so you're working in intensive care unit.
Okay, cool.
Basically managing and maintaining people's respiratory system when they're in, when they're bedridden, when they don't have mobility is decreased. So you want to make sure that they're getting the maximum amount of oxygen.
Okay.
So it's quite...
That's pretty heavy shit, man.
People realise with physio as well, physiotherapy is not just,
just musk. Yeah.
It's not just working with rugby league players and sporting teams. It's really not. It's not working with just sore knees and shoulders. People don't realise that physiotherapy is so many different avenues, neurological physiotherapy, working with stroke wards, working with MS and Parkinson's, also working in cardiorespiratory, in the ICU unit, aged care, cardiopulmonary rehab. There's so many different areas of physiotherapy that people aren't aware of. Orthopedics, post-surgical, there's outpatients, so many different areas. So to find any advice I'll give to any physio would be to just find the area you love.
Yeah.
The area of rehab that you love, and just live it. Live it and understand it, and spend your time and give your time away at the start.
Yeah.
As I said, I worked just about for free in my first year. I didn't make $1, but I knew where I was going with the people I was surrounded by. I knew that working alongside an elite team, that education could put a price on it.
Mate, that's I think that's a lot of what you just don't hear these days, is that people just want to get paid straight away.
Job versus career. I said it again. People want money quick, so they'll go get a job.
Yes.
They're not willing to, become, essentially focus on their career. A career long term. I never looked at the first 1 or 2 years outside of uni, or even when I finished school. I always looked at what's the 10-year plan. Where do I want to be in 10 years? Who do I want to work alongside? Where do I want to be? And I think I always wanted to have a centre like this, and I'm lucky enough now that I'm kind of living the dream. But
living the dream.
Quite stressful. It's very stressful.
Very stressful, mate.
It's not easy, but I guess it's easier when you wake up every day and you come and do something you enjoy doing, mate, with the people you love working with.
That's it, isn't it? Did you ever think you were going to go into another side of the rehab, or you always saw yourself doing this? I mean,
to be honest with you, at uni, a lot of what I was good at wasn't musculoskeletal.
What were you good at?
I wasn't really good at musculoskeletal. I was actually much better at the neuro side of things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed
that. That has a bit of a crossover now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's a bit of a crossover, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the small changes. It was crazy. Like when I worked my first uni prac, I worked at St Vincent's Hospital. I worked in acute neurosurgery. See some things, crazy. So
Jesus.
Acute neurosurgery. So and there was a stroke ward as well. There was 8 beds in there that were designated to stroke patients as well. So working in that area was crazy because the most minor things make someone's day. You're helping rehabilitate someone to help take a sip of water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are little things. So you're there every single day.
Granted, yeah.
Take for granted. And these are little goals. You're sitting with your patients every day, and sometimes you'd see your patients 2 times a day. Sometimes the families would be around you. So you really had to. It was confronting, but I learned a lot in that environment. And at uni, I wasn't that good with my musculoskeletal. I guess it was just the uni method of teaching musculoskeletal.
Yeah.
I knew where I wanted to go with that, but I guess I had to just tick all the boxes as a general outpatient physiotherapist. But then as I left, I kind of developed my own method.
Yep.
Which I
that's what everyone does.
Everyone does. You develop your own method. I think you have to.
Yeah.
You really have to, because I mean, you have to. People have to have a reason to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are coming to you. They're paying their hard-earned money,
mm-hmm.
top dollar, and you have to give them a service that's specific. Or that empathy. That's what I say as well. You got to have empathy for the person. When someone comes to me and they're a bodybuilder or a powerlifter, I can actually.
You can put yourself in
I can very much tell them the goal will be. We will try our best to get that goal. That's what I will. You can feel the pain when they like. I can't train. I want to be back in the gym. You can feel that. So, I love working in this area because I live it. Whereas the other areas, I couldn't see myself doing it long term.
Yeah.
It was fun when I did it, but I just couldn't see myself waking up every single day for the rest of my life working in other areas other than on a barbell.
Yeah.
That's it. I have
to. Mate, that's the simple truth.
Just everything has to be on a barbell.
Alright, what else have we got? How much time have we got? So we've probably got about 5 or 10 minutes. Alright, we've got a couple of questions. So, most complex case that you've ever had to rehab?
Depends. So I've had a couple of people, my back clients, but anyone with lower back injuries, they're quite complex. And I've had a few people that had come in with about 50 scans on all these different areas, and I guess it's funny. I'm trying to think now of one specific case. I've had some pretty full-on cases.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you think of one where, I guess I'm turning it now, it's just so much more complex than you ever think of. Can you think of that one client that sort of came in that you're like, oh, this is easy, and then you're like, oh, fuck, and you just got a little bit deeper into it?
I'm telling you, a lot of those clients were at uni when I was working prac.
Okay, yep.
90% of them were in prac. Working the wards at the hospital, when you've had someone that's just had surgery, and they've come and you're going to see them, and you're getting them up out of bed for the first time, and you're reading their case notes, and you've got to read the surgical notes, you've got to read the nurse's notes, you've got to see all the equipment they're attached to, you've got to see their pain medications. There's 5,000 different factors you have to take into account when you're working on a ward. The difference is when someone comes to you as a physio, they've walked in. They've come to you. I've never really had a moment where I've been overwhelmed as such working for myself.
Okay.
Because I'm moving at my own pace, and I essentially just want to get right to the bottom of it. We take our time, so I've never been overwhelmed. Yeah. But in the hospital setting, every single case is stressful. It is all stressful. Yeah. What would be the simplest case becomes the hardest, because you've got so many different factors, especially when you're working with people over the age of 80. And getting them up out of bed after they've had a hip replacement, so they're prone to low blood pressure, they get dizzy, they're nauseous, you call the nurse. There's little things like you play such an important role getting that person home, because you have to sign off and say patient's mobility is at the level. Is adequate, adequate to go home. So, man, I'm telling you, that was very stressful for me. But in terms of outpatients, I've had people. It's essentially the back pain clients. Some of the back pain clients come in to me and they're not symptomatic. They're okay. They can do a lot of things. We get them moving straight away. Yep. Other ones come in and it's like you cannot move. We've got a lot of neurological symptoms, sciatic pain down the leg. We've got people, any position you get them in, they're in agony. That they're hard cases. You just got to essentially, but you just got to always set goals. So it's okay, well, our goal now is to just manage the symptoms acutely because you're in a lot of pain. Yeah. Come up with a plan for that. I'll have a chat to my mobility specialist and we might come up with a plan just to get them in positions of comfort. Yeah, yeah. And then I'll look at a long-term strategy in terms of strengthening the underlying imbalance and getting their body moving correctly. But yeah, just in terms of the most complex cases. Lower back. Lower back pain. Yeah, lower back pain. And that's the area that I work a lot with.
Yeah.
Lower back pain clients, they're all different. As I said, some people come in, I've seen, and to be honest, I've tried to avoid looking at scans.
It does throw it, doesn't it?
But sometimes you have to, just for the peace of mind of the client. I mean, sometimes you just have to tell them, go get a scan. And then even though you kind of know what the issue is, you just for their own peace of mind, get the scan. They can see where the impairment is, and you can always associate what you're doing back to that impairment. You can always make them feel comfortable that, what we're doing is for this reason, and this reason is because of this. And then they just want answers. Why are we doing this? Why are you getting me doing a plank? My back hurts. Okay, well, core, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? You want to give them some answers as to why. There's always the why. Clients are always going to ask, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? So you always got to have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Don't prescribe something that you wouldn't prescribe yourself.
That's it, hey.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you're not going to get on the ground and do a plank as a part of your core activation, why are you giving it to 500 people?
Mary Jane.
That's
it. All right, what else have we got? Okay, so favorite movies. 3 favorite movies.
Oh my God! Now I'm a big movie buff. I love
Are ya?
Yeah, me and Maria, we try and watch a movie every single night.
Whoa!
We try
every night.
We try, even if it's 1 a.m. We try. Me and Maria, we always.
No fucking way.
We try and watch a movie every night. Every time we're together, if we're together 3-4 times a week, we try and watch a movie. That's our goal.
Crazy.
So
man.
I'm a big man. The Godfathers to me. Can I include them as one?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Godfathers are my favourite movies. Godfather 1 and 2.
I've never actually seen them, so.
Do yourself a favour.
There's that disdain in the voice. Man, like, come on.
Godfather 1 and 2. I love Carlito's Way, Scarface, Heat with Robert De Niro. That's a top movie. Top Gun. I love Top Gun.
Top Gun?
Top movie. Yeah, but in terms of 3 favourite movies, Rocky 4.
Okay.
Love Rocky 4.
Yeah. Just the underdog?
Just Rocky 4, man. The soundtrack too. Rocky 4. Godfather 1, can't beat that, and Training Day with Denzel Washington.
Training Day?
Yeah.
I don't even know that.
Watch that. Do yourself a favour, watch that.
Man.
Denzel's the man.
Denzel is a really good actor.
I bet you later on, when we finish up here, I'm going to think, fuck, why didn't I say that movie? Like,
You're always thinking about it,
yeah. Those are 3 that come to mind. I like those movies, yeah.
Excellent. All right. So what you're gonna have to do for me, is before we reach that question, I want you to start looking up your horoscope because we're gonna start doing that. That's just gonna be out there.
I'm actually big on this.
Are you?
I always research horoscopes.
Fuck yeah.
I'm a Virgo.
Okay. All right. So we've got one other question before we get into that. So obviously you've got your mentors, but like favorite books that sort of like your biggest 3 books that have sort of.
The ones, so to be honest, I've got them right in front of you. I like my clinical sports medicine book.
Bruckner and Kahn.
Yep. I've also got an atlas here. This, to me, is my love. I love this atlas of skeletal muscles. This is the book that I sit and I show my clients.
Yeah.
You can see my room now. I've got a skeleton. I've got a muscular chart. Here I sit and I just go through everything with my clients. This is accessible because I go through that with everyone. I sit there and I explain to them the actions of the muscles, the nerve, the relationships, and I explain where the imbalances are. Majority of my clients, if someone comes to me with a pain in a specific area, I very rarely look at that area.
Mm-hmm.
I very rarely look at the area of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, obviously, you've got ACLs and specific injuries of trauma.
Yeah.
But when someone comes to me with a chronic pain, I'll essentially look elsewhere. And I use this atlas here just to go through with them and say, I know your problem is here, but let's look at these little muscles here, and here.
And then we might.
Let's have a look at these guys, because if you always want to make sure your client's on the same page as you.
Yeah.
I'll show them here, and I'll show the action, the origin, the insertion of that muscle, and then essentially it's like an anatomy session.
Yeah.
My first session with the client, I always want them leaving here learning a few things about their body.
A couple of gens.
That's it. What they thought the problem was, it might not have been the problem.
Yeah.
They come in saying, well, my back's the problem, but my back's where the pain is, but my movement patterns are incorrect. My glutes are weak, and my core is weak.
Mm-hmm.
Posture is poor. That's basically everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, we look at movement patterns, and then I explain to them, this is how we're designed to move. This is how you're moving, and this is the area that's overused or overworked because of that.
Yeah.
These are the muscles that essentially are neglected and weak. I'll show that to them in Atlas. And anything McGill. The back.
You love McGill?
Yeah,
Yeah.
McGill's good. When it comes to lower back.
Yeah.
All the research is out there. He's the best.
Very good.
Yeah, and a lot of Dr. Andrew Locke stuff is.
Yeah.
Is
I actually haven't even read any of his yet. I haven't got to the point.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Please do yourself a favour. It's really good. And to be honest, as I said to you before, I these are the books that I have here, but I've got a lot more books at home, and I also spend a lot of my time looking at books that I'm going to buy as well.
Mate, I've got like a fucking list of like 20 books.
Man, I'm telling you, our bill just from putting this gym together, you know, it's cost us a lot of money, so I want to obviously spend a lot more time researching when I've got some available funds to reinvest back into my education.
Education.
That's it.
Yeah.
But these are the books that you see, they're the ones that I have accessible on hand all the time.
Very good. I'm going to have to take a photo of them.
Yeah, take a photo, of course.
Easy. All right, last but not least, let's get that horoscope going.
All right.
You have to read it in a sensual voice, like right up against the.
So what do I say here?
So is this
that's
So find a horoscope reading.
Oh. Okay. Virgo.
And what day it is, and then let's just read.
All right, let's have a look. Daily horoscope. Virgo. I'm a typical Virgo as well, by the way. Okay, so here.
Yeah, just read it out for us.
September 7th, 2019. Make yourself available to someone in need of a friend, Virgo. Don't turn anyone away, even if you're busy or under the weather. Chances are the person who comes to you needs advice and support that only you can offer. Sounds like all my clients. Listening doesn't take that much energy, and that may be all that's required. Leave yourself open to others. Quite vague.
Well, there you go.
It's quite vague.
Nah, that's it. That's the way to go. Man, I fucking love that stuff. It's so funny. You can take some relevance out of it. But yeah. Love it. Excellent. Dunskies.
Mate, thank you very much. As I said, thank you. I listen to podcasts, and I'm pretty flattered that you come and had a chat to me. It's nice when you message me. I was like, oh really? Want to be on a podcast? People know what I do.
Fuck yeah, mate. We're always finding new people, and it's always good to see that everyone has like the same sort of, like you can connect with the same sort of people.
That's it. I mean, you're on the right path here, doing what you guys are doing as well. You're connecting with young, up and coming therapists as well, people that are engaged in the industry that want to invest their time into reaching a larger audience.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Excellent.
Hey, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.